It's okay, breathe. We're gonna get out of this. And we're gonna go home.
This place, it isn't what you think. It's a cage. But we can help each other.
He's a monster. You cannot trust him.
I'm just a man. But I know how it ends.
I don't care what he can do. He's not getting out.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Marvel dropped a brand new Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer video with a bunch of new footage, so we'll break it down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We're also doing a giveaway for IMAX tickets because tickets are on sale now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and post all your Kang theories in the comments below. It does seem like this Kang might wind up being the one that they face, or one of the many that they face during Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty, because I do think that we're going to see a bunch of versions of Kang, a bunch of Kang variants in Avengers 5. Reportedly, we're also going to see a bunch of Kang variants during Loki Season 2, because the Kang Multiverse War 2.0 will still be playing out, but a lot of what's happening in Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania in Kang's master plan is related to that, the Kang Multiverse War.
And if you think I'm evil, just wait till you meet my variants.
During a couple new interviews that Michelle Pfeiffer did for Janet Van Dyne and during the new trailer, there's all these references to this dark past that Janet Van Dyne had when she was stuck in the quantum realm for 20 plus years. Everybody wondering why she didn't tell everybody else about Kang when she escaped the quantum realm. And part of it has to do with her guilt over what she did during those 20 plus years. The way she talks about it, she talks about this relationship that she used to have with Kang, very interesting type of relationship, not in the traditional sense, not like going out with someone or like having an actual physical relationship with someone. When she talks about this dark history of Janet Van Dyne, like how she changed fundamentally as a character when she was stuck in the quantum realm, the thing she's probably guilty about that she didn't want to talk about with the others when she escaped, like Hank Pym for one, is because she's guilty over having helped Kang start to achieve his goal of winning the Kang Multiverse War. So when she's telling Scott Lang he's a monster, you can't trust anything that he says, what she's probably talking about is that she at some point met Kang when she was stuck in the quantum realm, and he was in the middle of using the quantum realm, quantum energy, to win the Kang Multiverse War, because the quantum realm was sort of like the blood vessels of the entire multiverse, of all of reality. It's kind of like a train depot to all of time and space, like all points and all timelines in every universe. So it sounds like Kang wants to use it to basically destroy all the other Kang variants' timelines and make his supreme. And at some point when Janet Van Dyne was stuck early on, when she was much younger, she met him and he lied to her about what he was doing, and she helped him complete his plan. So a lot of what he's like, a lot of his technology and his grand plan for destroying all of reality, technically, was made possible by Janet Van Dyne. But also, when he's talking to Scott Lang about how this place isn't what you realize, it's a cage. He's been trapped there, and that's why he's captured them, because Janet Van Dyne also found out about what he's doing and stranded him there by stealing some of his time chair devices. There's this device that you see on his time chair that's glowing. You see him putting something into it later, like some energy, that seems like it's going to activate it or fix whatever Janet Van Dyne did to break it so that he couldn't use it and escape. So it just sounds like Janet Van Dyne is like slowly revealing this to Hope and Hank and everyone else. Like, oh, by the way, yeah, this guy, he's really terrible. I kind of accidentally wound up helping him start to complete this plan to destroy all of reality. So please don't be mad at me. Like she's begging Scott Lang not to give in to what Kang is telling him he can do. I could give you anything you want. I'll give you literally more time with Cassie, because he was stuck in the quantum realm for 5 years of her growing up. It's basically another version of the same bargain that He Who Remains and Miss Minutes gave to Loki and Sylvie in the Loki finale.
How would you like to win? You want the Infinity Gauntlet? Yours. How would you like to wake up tomorrow with just a lifetime of happy memories?
Because the whole idea is that Loki is basically getting it on, he's in love with the variant of himself, which is exactly something you would expect from Loki. Like, he's a pure narcissist. Of course he would fall in love with himself. But part of the idea is that Kang tries to win over Scott Lang by offering him more time and then just flips to full-out villainy. Like, look, if you don't help me, I will destroy your entire reality. Everything that's ever existed, it'll be as if there was never an Ant-Man. Which is more of a surgical strike on his personal timeline rather than just destroying an entire timeline, like having Alioth eat an entire timeline, an entire alternate universe. That was kind of what He Who Remains Kang was offering Loki and Sylvie, a surgical strike on their timeline, like a surgical construction of this Franken timeline where they could live together and it wouldn't be weird, like Odin wouldn't be upset at what Loki was doing. They even referenced the Infinity Gauntlet, like, do you want to live in a reality where you won during the first Avengers movie, where you have the Infinity Gauntlet, where Sylvie is your wife and nobody thinks that it's weird? Kang has mastered time travel technology, hyper tech, future tech, so much that he can do stuff like that without it completely breaking all of reality. They got into the concept of fixed points in time during the What If series, like certain important points in the timeline that couldn't change, otherwise all of reality would just completely break down, which is what happens during the Doctor Strange episode. But it sounds like Kang, 1,000+ years in the future, has figured out how to get around stuff like that. That's how powerful he is. I've already talked about the different types of quantum energy too, the connections to Fantastic Four, because they have the same types of blue energy, the same types of portals, like you see him standing on one here, using the energy this way that Mr. Fantastic uses as his portal to get around in the 838 universe. Kang is the descendant of Mr. Fantastic's family, that they're very, very distantly related. Also, the writer of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness said that they based his quantum energy portals on Doctor Doom's time travel platform, which is another connection to Kang in the comics, who based his initial time travel chair, his time chair here that he's sitting in, on Doctor Doom's time travel platform. He dug Doctor Doom's plans out of mothballs and just made them better with his hypertech. A lot of you have also asked about the Celestials, the Eternals Easter eggs that are all over his rings of power here and his time travel chair. There are all these advanced symbols that look just like the Celestial symbols in the Eternals movie that are written all over the Celestials that you see in their energy when they teleport themselves around. I think what they're trying to imply here is that Kang is using Celestial technology in some of his hypertech, which makes sense. Like, Celestial technology, way, way more advanced than anything that anybody has access to, at least in present day. In the trailer, Kang tells Ant-Man, I know how it ends, like he's talking about knowing the end of the timeline because he's gone all over the timeline. So he literally knows everything that's going to happen. That's what He Who Remains Kang told Loki and Sylvie. I know everything that's going to happen, at least up to a certain point. Naturally, Kang probably had a certain level of technology and then used it to travel into the future and get more advanced technology and then integrate it into his technology in the past. Take the best technology that you can find from across the timeline from the most powerful beings and then incorporate it into his current technology here that you see him with. That's really why he's so dangerous, is because he has unfettered access to the most advanced technology from the future, meaning that he's so much more powerful theoretically than any of the characters from the present. Which is another reference to a funny moment that they have together when Ant-Man is meeting him for the first time. So there's like a longer version of this scene where he's like, wait a minute, who are you? You better watch out, I'm an Avenger. And Kang is kind of bemused by like, oh, you're an Avenger, have I killed you before? Because the whole idea is that when he's speaking to him in the quantum realm here, even though he's been trapped for a long time, he's survived a much bigger version of the Kang Multiverse War up to this point. That's what all the scars on his face, his body are probably from. He's probably survived battles with many other variants of the Avengers and survived them, meaning that they were unsuccessful in stopping him and he's killed a bunch of them in the process. The whole idea of multiverse Avengers, we'll also get into that during Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty and Avengers 6 Secret Wars, but mostly Secret Wars. There's a couple other new characters that they teased during some of these new footage and previews that they released. William Jackson Harper is playing a telepath character called Kaz. A lot of people initially thought that that was just meant to be code for Quasar because of the quantum bands of Quasar. You talk about quantum energy and you talk about Miss Marvel's bangles. People are like, wait a minute, are those like the quantum bands? There might be some Easter eggs that they weave in later in the comics, but he's not meant to be Quasar or anything like that. He's just a completely brand new character that's original to the movie that they created for the movie itself. During the movie, there's meant to be this metaphorical grassroots resistance against Kang inside the quantum city that you see. Like there's a giant war that he's looking out over his fortress. A bunch of the regular inhabitants there just hate what he's doing and are trying to oppose him. They wind up running into them here, like you see them standing wondering who all these people are. Some of them are humanoid and some of them are completely non-human. It also seems like this final battle that they have where you see this wreckage all around him and he's blasting Scott Lang with his blue quantum energy. Next to him, you can actually see the ruins of his time chair here. It sounds like their final battle is going to be in his fortress here, and Ant-Man will wind up stopping him from destroying all other timelines. Like he'll destroy his larger device and stop that, but Kang will wind up escaping in his time chair. so that he can go on to the events of Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty in the background. But if there's any other footage or Easter eggs that you spotted in the trailer footage that I didn't talk about in the video, just write them below in the comments. This is just the beginning. The movie's going to be coming out in a couple weeks, so of course there's going to be a bunch more trailers and footage that they release. I just did a brand new Mandalorian Season 3 trailer video. You can click here to watch that, and click here for my Last of Us Episode 2 trailer video with even more Pedro Pascal. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.